Chicagoans assumed that the river would prevent the fire from spreading farther east, but to the shock and horror of Chicagoans, by the time the fire reached the river, it was so big and hot that the heat of the fire strengthened the wind, making it stronger to blow burning chunks of wood over the river, continuing the flames on the other side. Now, about Mrs. O'Leary and her cow. The O'Learys were real people. They had 4 real cows in a real barn, and their barn really was the first building on fire that night. But the story blaming the fire on Mrs. O'Leary was invented by a reporter while the flames were still burning. Now, he knew, taking advantage of anti-Irish immigrant sentiment at the time, that blaming the O'Learys, scapegoating them, would sell a lot of newspapers. Now, at this point, you might think, well, Bobby, that sounds cruel, but didn't you just tell us that the fire really started at the O'Learys' real barn? Why wasn't it really their fault? Well, because the fire started at the O'Learys were investigated officially. And the investigators found no evidence to blame the O'Learys, exonerated them, citing that Chicago was a dry wooden city that had suffered through 2 months of drought. Anything as simple as a passerby with a pipe dropping an accidental ember could have started the fire. They simply did not know, and the O'Learys officially are as likely as anyone to be innocent. And folks, back to the present, that radio tower we spotted is still significant because Chicagoans have a good sense of poetic justice, and that radio tower stands on the property of our present-day firefighter training academy. Right where the Great Fire began is where we train our firefighters today, over on DeKoven Street, where the O'Learys' front door once stood. Now, folks, I wanted to mention those 2 bridges we just passed. Those are defunct railroad bridges. They're no longer in use. They're just still there because it's cheaper to leave them than demolish them. They have to be inspected to make sure they're structurally sound. Now, here on the left side of the boat, this park along the river on the left is Ping Tom Memorial Park. It's the largest park in Chicago's Chinatown. Downtown Chinatown is on Wentworth Avenue, just beyond the park. Now, Ping Tom Park is named after Ping Tom. Ping Tom was a civic leader in Chinatown in the 1960s when the Dan Ryan Expressway, a highway, was built on the south side of town. The process of building it destroyed the parks that Chinatown had. Ping Tom lobbied City Hall for many years. Hello. Hi there. Ping Tom lobbied City Hall for many years to build Chinatown a new park. Unfortunately, the man himself passed away before Ping Tom Memorial Park opened in his honor in 1999. Now, folks, after this bridge, right in front of us is the one movable bridge in Chicago that's, well, on the Chicago River, that's not a Bascule Trunnion-style drawbridge. That is a drawbridge that uses counterweights to rotate up on a pivot. Right in front of us is the one bridge that's different. That is the Canal Street Railroad Bridge, also called the Amtrak Bridge. It's 110 years old. It's still operational. Dozens of trains a day go over. It's still lifted on a regular basis. When the bridge ahead of us gets lifted, its central span is hoisted in one piece up between those 2 towers as the concrete counterweights lower to raise the bridge up. Typically, no one's in that bridge house on the bridge span anymore. It used to be controlled from there, but now it's controlled from the Amtrak rail yard tower about a mile north. Folks, at this point, I'm going to get off the mic for a few minutes. About 8 to 10 minute intermission here typically. Enjoy the view, ask me questions if you have them, and I'll get back on the mic with lots more tour when we get closer to downtown. In the meantime, move around, enjoy the view, or even head downstairs to warm up if you need to.